Hi, I'm just going to help you guys get started on your Lab 5. So to start with, you're going to go into Moodle and you're going to need to click where it says click here to get the design of the app. Once you do that, it will take you, go ahead and click mine. It's going to take you to the app and you're going to want to go to view code. And then once you go into view code, you're going to want to remix it so that you can actually edit it. Now, this app is a app to figure out the price of a museum ticket. And I just want to say that this chart is on here more for your testing. And I think that was a little bit confusing to students trying to look, they're reading a little bit more into the chart than you really need to. So basically for the museum app, just how it's running is when I click run, the user is going to get to select a day. They're going to get to select, an age. If they have a discount code, they type it in, they click create my ticket, and then their ticket would appear here. The base price of a ticket is $10. So on the weekends, if you're older, it's always $10. There's a couple... Sorry, little interruption there. So the base price is $10. If it is a Monday through Friday and you're less than 18 or younger, then you pay $5. And if it's Friday and you use the free Friday discount code, you pay nothing. But otherwise, you pay $10. So that's what we want to keep in mind. So just to kind of get you started on things, there's comments here as to what you need to do. So the first step is to create your variables. And when you're going to create variables, a lot of students just aren't sure what to create, what variables to create. And I want you to keep in mind that for every input, there should be a variable. So the user's getting to input a day, an age, and a discount code. So I'm going to need a variable for each one of those. So under variables, I'm going to go ahead and grab the first one. I'm going to call it day. I'm going to, at this point, set it just with empty quotes. You could put a day in there. It doesn't matter because it's going to get changed anyways. We're also going to have an age, and I'm going to default my age to be 0 for right now. But again, that's going to change too. And then I need one for the discount code. So I'm going to call mine DC. And again, that's going to be quotes because they can enter a word in. So for every input over here, I need to create a variable to store whatever the user's entering. The other thing that I'm going to need a variable for are outputs. So if I have something that's going to output, then I'm going to need a variable for that as well. Well, we know that it's going to output the price of the ticket, right? That's what we're calculating. So I'm probably going to need a variable for that. So I'm going to just set it equal to 0. Okay, so that's the first step. And those are all the variables that you're going to need. If you want to create more, you can, but you're not going to need any more than that. On the next step, we're going to update the variables. And we're still a little bit new here, so a lot of students weren't sure how to do that. And basically, it's really similar to our conversions lab, where the user got to type something into the box. And in this case, the users are getting to select these, right? So we want the day to be whatever they select here. So I'm gonna do the day one, but I'm gonna leave the other ones for you to do. So day is gonna equal whatever is in here. Well, I'm gonna hit reset so I can see what this is called. This is called the day dropdown. That's the name of it. So under UI controls, I'm gonna do a get text. And in here, I'm gonna select day dropdown. You're going to need to repeat that process for both age and discount code. Now remember, age is a number, so instead of using get text, you might want to use get number, but you might want to pause your video right now if you're following along and go ahead and update both age and discount code using the same method that I just did for day. One side note, that was a little error on the project itself. In the on event line here, I would like you to go ahead and make sure that calculate button doesn't have the underscore in it. So if you just go to the drop down and select calculate button out of there, and then you'll make sure that you're getting the right one. Otherwise, it's, I think, pulling a button that doesn't exist. The other variable that I want to set is price. And price, remember I said the default price that most people pay is $10. So I'm going to go ahead and set price to $10. Okay, the next stage is going to be yours to do. And this is the check the value of the variable, decide on the price to set. So this is where the if statements come in. And the only hint I'm going to give you right now is that you actually can get away with using 2 if statements. The first if statement would check to see if it's a weekday, so if day is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and their age is less than or equal to 18, then the price would get set to 5. And the second if statement would check to see if the day is Friday and the discount code is free Friday, the price gets set to 0. So this is going to be your work with practice with if statements. You're going to be using the ands and the ors that we practiced last week in class, but I'm going to leave those for you to write. Then the last thing is the having everything show up on the ticket. And I broke it into 2 steps here, but we're actually not going to do that. So we're going to go under UI controls, and you're going to go to set text. The name of this is ticket output. So we're going to change the ID to ticket output. And I'm going to show you something so that the text would appear on separate lines. So I want the ticket to output the day, the age, and the price of the ticket. So in quotes, I'm going to put day with a colon. That means literally the word day is going to show up. And then past the quotes, I'm going to use a plus sign, and then day that's not in quotes. So this is saying combine the word day with the actual day that's being stored as the variable. Okay, so that's outputting your day. Now, to keep adding to that, the next thing I want to output is their age. So I'm going to say age, colon, and then plus age. And then you're going to do the same thing with price. Try not to click away from that until you've put them all in, because you don't want the blocks to form until you're done. The last thing I want you to do is right before age and right before price. So I'm going to go literally right before the A and age, and I'm going to include a \n. And what that \n does is it puts age on a new line. So that's just something new for us, a little side thing to learn, that when I want to kind of format my output so it looks nice, so each thing's on a new line, I need to make sure that I put this \n in front of age to make it actually appear on the next line. So you need to go ahead and continue by adding price with the price as well, in the same format that I just did day and age. That about covers everything. So you're left with updating the 2 variables that I didn't update. You're also left with taking care of the 2 if statements. And once you do that, it should be running properly.